Looks like we're going to be ready if you want to go ahead and take us in.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are going to have our players falling down to the mat. It's going to be our first game of the day here, week number 2, and let's see where these teams are going to touch down. And it's only fitting to take a look at our MVP, FJ, representing the #1 team, Epsilon.
Yeah, we're going to hop on with a couple of these guys, and you can see all the skins that they are rocking. You see the parachutes, you see the jersey/hoodie. If you guys would like to go ahead and support your teams, you can absolutely grab these on Steam, $19.99. You get both of those in the bundle. Definitely grab them. Great way to support the teams.
Yeah, it's fun to support the teams, but also, you know, you kind of got to skin it to win it. I'm one person that really does believe dressing for success is the key to just that success. But right now, we can see them grabbing that swag in-game. They're going to start getting that looting phase started right now, and it's none other than Benny Boy that we're hopping on board with first.
Yeah, and another thing that we're going to have that you guys can keep an eye on as these guys get a little stressed. You might be able to notice a little thing on these cameras when they pop up. We do have heart rate monitors on the players, so we can always keep an eye and see if these guys are really sweating or not.
Yeah, now Sloth, we already mentioned he was able to pull down 8 kills last time, and he is cool as a cucumber, no heartbeat at all. What a madman on our screen right now.
He has literal ice in his veins, and Sloth going to come in. That is a new setup for us. So Sloth, though, he's just ahead of the game. That's what it is.
That's actually the same as me, man. When I get into the kitchen, my heart rate will spike just like that as well. But taking a look at our map, we're going to get a peek of our first safe zone. And this one, it's touching PV quite a bit, but for the most part, and we haven't seen too many of these. Obviously, we haven't seen too many rings at all in the H1 Pro League. Saturday was our first day, but we have a lot of nice playable space here.
Yeah, a lot of space here. Typically, the circles aren't going to close in directly inside of a city. So most likely we're going to see these final circles start edging their way towards the northwest corner of this circle, which has a lot of open space. There's a couple little POIs, but some great ridges, good hill fights, a couple sporadic trees and some rocks and everything. We'll be able to see a lot of open land and a lot of gunfights.
Were there any teams in particular, because we did see the map just a few seconds ago, and as casters with our Magic Caster Vision, we kind of have access to it throughout the entire matchup. Are there any teams that you find in a particularly well-positioned place to actually, when they move into the safe zone, collapse in an appropriate way?
Absolutely. So Noble and Set to Destroy are taking their halves of PV right now. Both of them are going to be pretty looted. Tempo Storm's going to have what we like to call the iPhone area of the map. They're going to be pretty looted. TSM also with a great solid starting spot. Rogue actually a little split at the moment. If one of these other teams like Gangstars or Obey decides to rotate down, we may end up seeing them get into an early fight. They're really spread out at the moment, so that might be something to keep up with. If we get into some early game fights, it might be with them.
And we keep talking about the meta quite a bit, right? We talk about it, how Epsilon's a relatively well-positioned team with this new playstyle that we see that is really birthed out of that new scoring system. But one of the other things that we need to kind of tell all the people at home that are maybe watching for the first time is how some of that meta will actually appear on your screen. And one of the big things that you have been talking about is how teams try to position themselves towards the center of the safe zone.
Yeah, absolutely. The center of the safe zone is going to be those spots that you want to be at. By being in the center of the safe zone, you end up causing yourself to have to move the least distance when the next safe zone is announced, or you get the option of it might just come straight to you in the middle. So that's definitely a great spot to be watching for all the action. It's definitely going to go down there in the middle, and we are going to lose Zeke very early. He was out scouting, it looked like. I glanced over at the map for a quick second there. Looked like he was out scouting, and he got eliminated there.
And we know how influential he was. I mean, he was one of the players that we wanted to highlight, pulling down 8 kills for his team in week #1. So that's going to be a big elimination coming in here. But like we were talking about, you want to try to get pitted in that safe zone and just spray and pray. Let the safe zone come to you. But also, you can kind of see him right now. That's a pretty bad way to start off day #2.
Yeah, definitely a rough start. You never want to start that way. It's going to happen. Everybody's going to have their bad day, though. I don't think it's going to affect him over the course of the season. He's definitely a great player. Keep an eye on him in the future games.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of Wednesdays ahead of us. You know, you can have a 1 or 2 bad starts here. The points are going to be cumulative every single Wednesday on Facebook. We're starting things off at 7 p.m. PDT. That's Pacific time. I had to remind myself because I'm not good at things like that. And you can see the scoreboard on that bottom right portion of your screen as well. That's going to be tallying up all of the kills. Every single kill going to be worth 1 point unless they get a melee kill, and then at the end, depending on positioning, they will get that multiplier. That all adds up, and now Carta letting some long-distance shots ring out. And as you can see, he's got that Magnum, maybe trying to chew away at some of these vehicles.
Yeah, the Magnum's definitely that weapon that everybody's going to be using to eat away at vehicles. Exactly like you said it. You find it does a ton of damage to cars, so they will just sit there and eat away at vehicles from long range. Battle of attrition. Take away anything you can from them early, so later in the game, these guys are in a rough spot and have to try and fight an uphill battle.
You know, I got a question for you right now. We keep getting it. It's super awesome. We get to see the player cams and we get to see their heart rate, but maybe I didn't play enough Doctor growing up. I actually don't really know what the resting heartbeat is for a human being.
Don't ask me. I don't have the answer for you. I went through this on week 1, and I did a great job of.
Is 100 normal?
The answer.
He looks calm. Production's in my ear going, 100 is high. It is high. And now he's at 109. That's even higher. So you can see Carta here starting to feel the heat just a little bit.
Yeah, his teammate gets a kill. Shell Shock netting himself a kill. I think that was on the Kreenak from CLG. So Rogue actually picked up 2 kills as well. So currently the lead is Rogue and TSM with 2 kills each.
Very, very early 5 kills coming in across 3 teams. 70 players still going to be remaining. Every single team still represented, and that is what we expect to see. But this quick action does come from that scoring method. You know, back in the day when we were casting, sometimes you'd wait until really the 4th circle came in, and that was when shots would really start popping off. But here you can see Candyvan scoping in for just a second there. He does see a few members of TSM, and he's letting them know exactly where he is standing. No fear coming out from Candyvan. But his heart's going to tell us otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are all professionals. They're definitely calm and cool, but 120, you can definitely see it. They look calm on the face, but they're definitely not calm in game. So they're going to be looking for these longer range fights. We're going to see fights earlier, like you were saying. We see combat come in earlier. But once you start getting to those areas of getting the extra bonuses or the multiplier, so when you hit that 11th spot, it'll slow down for a second, because you want to get into that 10th spot, so you want to outlast. So there's times where it's going to slow just a bit, and then once we get to the end, it's basically complete chaos.
All right, just going to bring up the heart rate thing one more time. We looked at Dropped as one of the most intimidating players. He was hanging out at 88, now it's a 99, lower than pretty much everyone else. We're seeing just how scary this guy can be. Taking out those binoculars for just a second to figure out who is around him. TSM in relatively favorable position, and another team that's going to have good positioning on the map is going to be none other than Tempo Storm early on, and they are engrossed in a gunfight with none other than Vitality.
Yeah, they are just kind of watching every direction here. TSM kind of out in the background. Vitality is definitely that team that they're throwing bullets at the moment. Set to destroy right here on the ridge line. It looks like they're right behind Vitality. So Vitality in a situation where they might get shot at by 2 sides. See if this ends up working out. Most likely they'll rotate out. If you're one of these teams, is going to have to rotate out at some point.
And one thing that I do want to note is already all of our teams have made it into that safe zone relatively quickly, and it is collapsing by the second. That car's going to get chewed up there. Crossover trying to get out of dodge, still taking impressive fire here. That's going to be coming from Gangstars. This is crazy aggressive. And you can see him feeling it as well. 176 heart beats per second, or however hearts work.
That's really high.
I don't know, but I know how bullets work, and that looks like it hurt.
I think we're actually required to keep medical staff on site. That's really good, because Crossover's the heart rate is absolutely through the roof at the moment.
Feeling the pressure in this early aggression coming out from Gangstars. Looking very good, and now we're going to see our ring kind of start to close in on itself a little bit more, and this is why that center meta that you were talking about really does pay dividends. Look, all of these teams, yes, they're getting into these early fights, but they're in more favorable position, and the team right the center of it all is going to be none other than Set to Destroy X.
And the odds right now, based on the way that the circles work, is that it's most likely going to center right there about where Vitality is, or Set to Destroy. There's a really good chance that that's where we're going to end up with for our final circle. Those guys have very, very short distances of travel, if any, for the next couple circles.
And that was kind of the team that we were talking about. You know, Tempo Storm seems to have that best position. They can really try to take these gunfights. They have good cover. People need to step to their front door. They don't need to go hunting, which could be a very, very big thing later on in this first round of week number 2.
Yeah, this area that Rogue's currently holding, though, we were just looking at him a second ago, has a ton of space in there. You can pack 6 teams into that strip mall area, and then it becomes very chaotic fights inside those buildings. So we'll see if that ends up having any kind of play at all as this circle starts to center on itself.
You got Pineapples on your screen right now. This is one of the guys that definitely cheer for quite a bit. Done a lot for the community. Has used the platform to do a lot of good, raising $7,500 for Gamers Outreach. We'll have to see how he does a little bit later on for Echo Fox. It is going to be Obey now right up and set to destroy X's Skrill. We're going to see 2 of those members get taken down. Douglas Raw finds 1. Now it's going to be Douglas Raw finding that 2-piece, looking for a little bit more as well. Cleaning up Obey. Teenage, the last man standing for this team, trying to get the hell out of Dodge, but he is taking more and more damage to his vehicle as he skitters away with his tail between his legs.
And you can watch his heart rate just continue to go up. When we hopped on him, he was at 80, and as players started dropping on his team, steadily just increasing. He's up to 119, still bleeding, needs to get a heal off. They have no kills at the moment, so now what's the play? 15 teams are up, you're by yourself. Making it longer doesn't necessarily net you points. It doesn't get you a modifier. You're going to have to get kills. Now he's got to kind of play the wing and kind of hang out and wait for opportunities to get some kills. And it looks like we're going to be on board with Set to Destroy there for a moment. Doug already up to 140 on that heart rate.
Yeah, quick maths, 2x multiplier of 0 still is absolutely nada. So that is a big thing that they need to be thinking about. And that is going to change how the final moments of this game really does pace out. But we talk about his heart rate. I know that got my blood flowing as well. Only 66 players going to be left on the map, but still every single team is going to have at least one guy, as we did just see. And look what's fallen down to the map, Jason.
Yeah, we got the airdrops coming through. And for the people at home that don't know what's going on, these are basically airdrops that have a bunch of items in them. There's 2 items that you cannot get anywhere else on the map but inside of those, and that's going to be your hunting rifle or your sniper rifle and your 2-hit Kevlar. So that's going to be your armor, and we're going to see that safe zone start to pull away. So Rogue actually going to have to move a little bit, but that's the next place that you would want to rotate to from where they're at is already occupied from Set to Destroy. Also, Gangstars and Luminosity is behind them. So that's going to be a really rough rotation for those 3 teams coming into this circle.
And kind of like you predicted there, we do see Tempo Storm and Echo Fox right smack damn in the middle. Set to Destroy X right now is going to be our team leading with 4 points to start things off. Smoke coming out on Teenage. He's the last one up for his team, and he is getting, it's a hailstorm on him right now. Nothing but rain, and he is tagged up, just smoke after smoke, trying to get away, trying to get into this building. And if he goes down here, his team is going to leave this round with not a single kill, without a single point.
Playing leapfrog with himself, and it looks like it is going to get him all the way there. So leapfrogging off of those smoke nades, Teenage going to get away, ends up surviving a little bit longer. Maybe he'll have an opportunity to get a kill or 2. You definitely don't want to have a 0-point round. It is not fun.
LG saw 2 of them. Obey does not want to see 1 here to start off today. He's got his whole team on his back, and now some long-range shots coming out from Huskers. It is going to be Benny who finishes off Sharima Wizard. We're just getting started with these fights. As you can hear, the gas is being released in 5 seconds, and all of a sudden we may start to see that powder keg erupt. Players getting closer and closer to each other. Who is going to fall? Which team will be taken out first? All 15 still are represented. Yogi inside the smoke right now for LG. Can see that Rogue has pretty good eye lines on this team. Just keep in mind.
And just remember, guys, you can keep an eye on the score and current standings of this match in that bottom right corner. That's going to update live throughout the match as the kills roll in, and that's going to give you your every one of your teams. So it's going to have their 3-digit starter, and then you can actually figure out where your favorite players are at. And the bombs come through. Doesn't look like it gets anybody though, so everybody dodges that one, but those are always, I would love to see somebody's heart rate during that. When the bomb plane comes through and you're close, that's always the most tense moment for me.
It looked quite sketchy there. It looked a little sketchy there for a few of our players. It does look like everybody gets out, though, in 1 piece. Now it is going to be Huskers right now, weaving in and out, just trying to jiggle peek just a little bit. Doesn't want to take too much damage here. Is going to be Rogue, letting shots rain into Noble. Noble, 1 man down at this point. Sharima Wizard was the first to fall for the squad. They're in kind of a tough position here, too.
They really are, yeah. Everybody out here on this side, we were talking about it for a minute, we're definitely going to be in. Man, I don't even think the car came to a stop. I think Benny got hit with the car and it just stuck him in there.
And we're going to see that entire
There they
squad
go.
in there right now.
Ooh.
But it's Howie just kind of ripped Tucker's Raw right out of the car. A big kill coming in for Howie. 64 souls still on our map in round number 1.
And here comes the Destroyers. They're rolling through. They got Echo Fox out ahead of them. It looked like either Benny or Ana there threw a couple shots out that side window. Might as well. You can shoot while driving, and they're going to come rolling in, and we are going to be in a close-range fight here with Echo Fox right inside. In comes Benny. He gets one hit, gets a couple. Nobody going down yet. Stomp a little, and Benny both going to land a kill, and then Stomp going to go down to Zach. So actually, Tempo Storm gets involved in the Echo Fox fight and manages to pick a kill out of that. And then Prodigy Aces is going to get eliminated by Sweet Dreams.
If they didn't get in that fight, Set to Destroy X was looking so strong there. But let's actually take a look at moment to moment what went down there, because it was absolute chaos. As you can see, it is Set to Destroy X that decides to make the breaching play. They start letting some shots into Echo Fox. They get that first kill onto Sweet Dreams. Then they're able to take out Pineapples, and that is when we see Tempo Storm enter the fight, and they are going to tip the scale quite a bit away from Set to Destroy X.
Yeah, Tempo Storm being that little bit of a nag out in the corner, kind of throwing in, peppering a few shots into him, ends up taking down one of the players. I actually didn't expect Tempo Storm to be involved in that fight whatsoever. But they end up
pitch.
It's the way to do it. Every one of those points is going to matter, right? Every kill. Anything you can steal away, absolutely go for it. But that was a nuts play. They didn't really have anywhere to go. They kind of got forced into it. Echo Fox is probably really unhappy with the fact that just went down.
Pinching is so lucrative in our current scoring system, because not only are you taking, before it was really, why is pinching valuable? Because you were getting bounties, you were getting a little bit more money in your pocket. But the thing is now is you are taking a point away from a team and giving that to your team for the entirety of the league. And Set to Destroy X, being so aggressive, is going to be our leader with 7. If they can hang on, they'll get the modifier. But right now it is Rogue, and they have their sights straight on LG, Jason.
Yeah, and as you were saying just a moment ago, they definitely want to hang out, but we're going to see a shot come out Riki, and he's going to eliminate Sign. Dropkid going to go down to Blank. Jeesh going to come out that front door and drop CBK Flame, and now Triv in the smoke trying to throw a nade in, and Jeesh hanging on, doesn't make it through. He's going to go down, and then we're going to lose Cutie Venom to OG Triv.
Bodies are dropping down to our top 50 players. Only 14 teams going to be left now, and we can already see quite a bit of them tagged up. Just like that, Carta going to go down. That's going to leave Triv prone and alone, and now Team Solo Mid able to pick up another kill. Beautiful.
Now it's the survival game. This is where Triv needs to just wait it out. You want to make it at least into that 10th spot to get that modifier and that multiplier of your score. So they're sitting well. He just needs to stay alive. That is the name of the game.
He's going to be able to maybe get 1.5, maybe 1.25, but a few teams already out. Impact going to be one of them, and now LG trying to take out another squad. They're managing to take Vago, and just like that, it gets turned around, and we are going to see Stormin from Rogue get taken out as well. And just like that is Rogue taken out. Only 12 teams left in this one. 42 players, 41. We can't even keep up. It is getting incredibly dicey for our players in this ring.
And they're going to drive by. CLG's going to hop out. Dog going to get taken out. Nightwalker finds himself a kill onto Gabe before Spirits comes in and returns the favor. Crank then going to take out Spirits. Everybody there just got domino effect.
And now our teams are inside of that multiplier range, but we're not done yet. A little bit of area denial going to come out with the gas. Now it's going to be Benny Boy looking for some blood. We're going to see Rogue fall down. It's going to be Megs. Then it's going to be Clem. Benny Boy hanging on by just a hair. Will he be able to get any more damage done? He is going to be backed up. Oh, just like that, he is going to be taken out, and his teammate will be as well. Top 9. All of these teams getting at least 1.25 in the multipliers with their current count. And as you can see, our point leader is going to be by 10. LG having a much better performance here than they did all of last week. Able to get some damage done. 2 points. That's actually going to be their total. That's going to be multiplied by just a little bit. They should be able to get up to at least 3 based off of that multiplier. But Echo Fox right next to Vitality. Yeah. When will these guys start to chew into each other? Liam and Hurrah versus Crank, Prox, and Sloth.
At what point does Fox decide that they're going to have to start making some making some plays, getting some eliminations. They're currently sitting at 2, but a multiplier on 2 really isn't worth a ton. So we definitely want to see that. But let's go ahead and hop back and take another look at that play from Benny Boy. So we're going to see them come in. Benny going to pop up, get Howie. Then he's going to look for one shot, comes up for the second shot, takes down Makes. We then see him slowly looking for Clem, finds it. Clem going to go down as well. Second later, we do know what happens. They're going to come in, they're going to clean him up, but he makes a huge play there, getting a few kills.
Those few brief seconds, he's backed up by his teammate, and they're able to get 3 kills onto the board. Absolutely massive. Tempo Storm, one of our 8 teams still in this. They are going to have the full squad up in here. Triv needs to run a little bit quicker. He does have the smoke, trying to leapfrog just a little bit of it. It looks like he's going to choke. He is going to go down. Cole J going to fall as well.
Goes down to the gas, though, doesn't give up any points, so at
big
the
thing
very
to know.
least, he didn't end up giving up an extra point. But TSM does get 7 points, plus a 1.25 modifier on that, so they're going to get some points, so good job to Triv for staying alive long enough to get that. Radarn on Epsilon, though, is going to get taken out by Shades from Alliance, and we're now on board with Tempo Storm, and they are in a close-range battle with Alliance. Zach looking for the kill around this rock, trying to find it. Psychaz right above him, he's going to get dropped, and here he comes, looking for the kill on the mountain. Can't find the first shot, can't find the third shot, can't find the fourth. It is a potato war, and he is going to lose it. Candyvan loses his helmet, gets a new one on right away. Tempo Storm dropping a few players there in that fight with Alliance. Reptar finishing it off with that kill on Shane.
Tempo Storm able to still be represented. Let's watch how they did it. 5 teams going to be left, and just like this, Zach is going to come around the rock, going to look for that kill. And it is going to be, they get quite a bit of damage done just like that, but ultimately we get engrossed in what you called a potato war. I almost thought for a second there that we were going to see the attempted melee kill come out. Keep in mind that if you are able to pull that off, that is worth a resounding 10 points. That would have just shot the team up to first place if they were able to get that, but ultimately does not go their way. Candyvan now, find this rock, taking big damage.
Here comes Cloud9 on the aggressive push. Chappie with the shotgun. Reptar going to finish it off. Reptar hanging on at 9 kills. Reptar is absolutely going off this round. He does finally get eliminated by Hurrah in 5th, so they're going to get that 1.5 modifier. Hurrah, going to get taken out by Adrian. Echo Fox still with 3 up. Needs a few more kills, though. Fox still only at 2. They have the modifiers, but they need the shots. Fox Sloth going to get eliminated by Buffalo. That is not what they were looking for.
Not at all. You do not want to have a Slayer like that go down. Top 3 teams, 8 players. You can see Gangstars relatively grouped up. Adrian's going to be able to take down Crank.
The car, he ran him over in the smoke.
Beautiful play coming in from Adrian. He's not stopping yet. All by himself, trying to stem the bleeding bot from behind the tree. Can he pull off the pinch? Gangstars and Echo Fox are so concerned with each other. He's going to try to get it going. Prox does fall. Adrian gets the point.
Adrian steals the kill. That's exactly what he needs to do. There's no modifier difference. He's most likely not taking down the game. He's in a 1v5. But getting the kills is what's worth it. He ends up throwing a nade and stealing that kill away from Gangstars.
And now he's going to be the number 2 team, pushing himself just a little bit further. He's looking for one more. He's going to put himself in the beast, and he gets the kill on the way out. 4 players, though, from Gangstars going to be left standing. Beautiful play from them. But my goodness, Adrian, you filthy monster, robbing points away from the other teams in the final moments of round number 1 of week 2 here at the H1Z1 Pro League.
That was absolutely down 20 points. Big game for them. Set to destroy with 13. Team Solo mid gonna come home with 9, rounding out our top 3.
What was our highest round score that we actually saw?
28?
It's 28, right? So
28,
that was with modifiers as well. So we can see the Tempo Storm right now going to have these 20 total points here. Right behind them, set to destroy X. And this is a really interesting thing to note that I want to bring up here as we see some of the teams that are a little bit lower on our placing of Bay not able to get a kill. They played incredibly aggressive. They did not get a modifier. They just went ham. That is how many kills they actually got.